like the sheepskin.
What little window is about a 547 sofa?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty nice
Stunning
little
and
look for what
comfortable.
that is.
And comfortable.
So here we all are.
Daryl wants a minute to kind of check things out on his end, so he'll be
Yeah.
ready at 9.
Flashing.
He thinks.
Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl.
All right, let me see if I can pull my screen up.
We were just finishing our morning meeting startups, and we'll take a moment if you need.
Check on that destiny.
The what?
Check on the destiny at 10:30.
Okay.
And I guess a reminder, we'll be getting it out. Starting now in August, we resume the European 10% insurance. Paid 100% of it free of charge. So that'll be, this looks odd. What is this number? I don't recognize. So she'll get that information to you. Nice month, it ends on Friday. Makes it much easier to payroll. Be out.
Remember, if you ask questions today, to really speak up. You're a long way from the microphone.
We probably could sneak a mask up to ask a question.
Just talk loudly. So you told them that we'll be recording that best one, and we'll play that for some meeting.
Mhm. Well, this is just a little bit shy of 50 for the month. I'm always at about 42 for the month.
And there's Daryl. Good morning again.
Good morning. It's telling me that the host disabled participant screen sharing. So if you could let me in to share my screen, I could work through my slides.
Let's see.
It's a very well organized closet there.
Thank you. Actually, you should see the rest of my office. It still needs a lot of work.
Have your girls stayed well?
Yeah.
What are they, 20 now?
Actually, my twins just turned 21 this summer.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Now and see if that's working.
I'm still trying to share my screen, but it's still saying it's disabled on your end.
Okay. We're just getting used to Zooming, and let's see. Pause share.
If this doesn't work, Eric, what I could do is I could create my own Zoom and then invite you guys in.
Well, let's see. Give me just a second here and see if I can find the right adjustment. Let's go back to the menu.
Did Jennifer have time to say anything to you? She was here such a short time yesterday, but she found out about the glass shelves for our favorite cereal customers.
Not since Saturday.
Is my screen share is whited out here too, Daryl?
Interesting.
She's going to contact the American Monday.
Yeah, because every time I'm trying to click share
Sharing
screen,
on-
it says host disabled participant screen sharing on my end. That's what it says.
Oh, here we go. Right now, I clicked on allow participant screen share.
Oh, you know what? It says here now you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing. I wonder if I.
Okay. We get rid of our share.
Okay.
We'll end sharing.
All right.
Okay, we're back to you on the screen. Now see if it says you
There
can
we go.
screen. Here we go. You're screen sharing.
Can you guys?
Okay.
All right. Can you guys see that? All right. All right. You guys can see Blackledge and Tempurpedic on your screen.
Yes.
And we
Okay.
have you in the speaker mode.
All right. Well, before I start on this, how much time do I have here so I can kind of pace myself?
You got until 9:30, so a little more than half an hour.
Okay. So really quick, before I jump into this training presentation, how's business down there in Corvallis for you guys going?
Better than expected.
Good. Okay. That's good to hear, because what's going on right now is any household goods, furniture, mattresses, barbecues, bark dust. I mean, you name it is going out of control. A lot of our issue right now at our factories is we're about 4 weeks behind when we typically have a 1 week lead time on turnaround time. Ever since the state opened up back in May, we just saw nothing but record sales going on week by week and month to month. I think a lot of people have been spending their Europe and Disneyland vacations on their homes right
Yep.
now. That's what we're seeing. So to hear you're on the same pace as everybody else, that's good to hear. So
I don't feel too bad about that kind of shipment delay. Simmons is another 2 or 3 weeks beyond that.
yeah, that's the other thing is obviously the supply chain issue is a big issue, not just for Simmons, but even for us. We get a lot of our spring units through Leggett and Platt, and as you guys know, the fabric being used on those spring units are being used by the medical community for PPE. So Leggett and Platt has had to go through a different vendor to get the fabrics for those coils.
So we should be quoting like 30 days now for you for a
Well,
while?
for Tempurpedic, we're actually in way better shape than everybody else as far as Tempurpedic products because we have our own factories. We're pouring our own foam, so we're about 7 to 14 days when it comes to Tempurpedic. So you should be fine there. The only hiccups that we're seeing with Tempurpedic, it's not that we don't have the supply or the product. It's just they typically get merged with our Sealy products on the same truck. And right now we're shipping full trucks and then some. So that's where the backup's happening when it comes to Tempur. But Tempur, we're good to go. A lot of retailers are starting to stock up more with Tempur. A lot of consumers are trading up right now. If it's in stock, they'll pay the money. And that's one thing we're seeing is if you want to take advantage of increasing your tickets at this time, consumers would rather pay the money if you have it versus waiting 4 weeks to 6 weeks on products right now, especially on mattresses. So anyway, with that, I'll jump into this presentation and I'll kind of pace myself since I only have 30 minutes. So I'm gonna do a little bit of refresher Tempurpedic here. For some of you, I know we've had time off during this whole quarantine and whatnot. So hopefully this will bring back some good refreshing materials for you guys. So let me start with this. Success with Tempurpedic typically has 3 elements. That's a 3-legged stool there. Obviously, without those 3 legs, that thing wouldn't stand. So first thing you must have is merchandising, having the right price for the right feels, which you guys all have. You guys have, I think, pretty much every model on the floor. So you have everything. And as you guys know, we're in the middle of a promotion right now. We have our Adapts at $19.99. Our Ergos are at $9.99. That's the lowest we've seen that combo in a while. It's actually a very new promotion we're running nationally. And then that'll just move right into Labor Day. And then next thing you have here is obviously RSA's knowledge. That's what we're working on today is product training. so that you guys are well prepped as consumers are looking for these products. And then lastly is advertising. And that's something that I know that we're doing from a national level, is to create traffic for our brand into your doors. And then obviously having Eric and Judy also jump into, into our program. 3 reasons why your customer won't buy a Tempur-Pedic. Now I'll try and hear you guys. I know you guys are a little bit a ways away from the computer, but what are some 3 things you guys can think of?
They don't like memory foam.
Okay, so maybe feel, because of the feel. Okay, that's one, and that's
Word of mouth, that the memory foam's no good.
okay. Memory foam's no good. Okay, what's another one?
Price point.
Right, price point. That's a big one. So I'll put that up here. That was number 1. Too much money. And then one more.
No edge support.
No edge support. Yeah, I guess we'll lump that into the feel.
No additional edge support at least. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys got too much money, sinking feeling. So really, it's that's a lot of the reasons why somebody won't like the feel of a memory foam. And then lastly is they heard they were too hot. A couple generations ago, about 6 or 7 years and beyond that, the mattresses did sleep hot, but we've addressed that with our new Breeze technology and also the covers that we're putting on these beds. So unless somebody's tried these new Tempur-Pedics, they won't know. So these are actually great conversation starters for you guys if they start talking about it being too hot or how they heard they were hot. This is a great time to actually show them how they're not sleeping hot because of the new technology in the products. As far as the sinking feeling, you guys know you guys also have the hybrid collection, which that addresses that feel for that customer that's still looking for that buoyant, almost spring-like feeling, because those hybrids do have springs in them. And with the different collections and the different feels that there are in there now, we've really addressed that sinking feeling. Okay, I'll move on. So why Tempur? Okay, why would somebody want to choose Tempur, and why would you want to show somebody Tempur? So let's go right into this. Most 2020 mattress shoppers still believe Tempur-Pedic is the blank mattress. Any guesses for that blank?
Best.
Best. You got it. Who was that Judy?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so best mattress. You got it. Good answer. Bad news, though, is many mattress shoppers are blank blank. I didn't hear that. What was it? Okay. Well, many mattress shoppers, that wasn't the right answer, but I'll show you here. They're forgetting why. Okay. These people today still believe Tempur-Pedic's the best. Okay. But many mattress shoppers forgetting why. So that's what we're going to get into is the why of Tempur. So first here, I'm going to go over the psychology of a sale. You guys have probably gone through several different presentations like this, but you all know that some of us function with stronger right brain functions and some with stronger left brain functions, right? And that's a psychology just 101, right? There's some of us that are more creative, more artistic. We just kind of have better imagination, intuition, versus the left brain's a little bit more logic. I just mentioned to you guys I have a set of twins, and one of them is studying to be an engineer, so he's the left brain guy. And then my other son is studying to be a graphic design, so he's the art guy. So even though they're identical twins, they still function from one side of the brain a little bit more than the other side. And as far as the sale goes, you guys all being in sales, I want to mention this because when you're dealing with a right brain consumer versus a left brain, this kind of helps in your presentation, okay? So let me move right in there. So as far as the left brain, it's more fact-based. You have quality, they're concerned more on worth and price and the value. versus the right brain, you have the emotion based performance, feeling, health, the look, the status. I tend to be this consumer right here. You know, it's, I see a car, it looks cool, it looks fast. You know, I do a lot of my decision making based on emotion. You know, a new golf club. I'm just trying to think of other purchases I've made, but those are some of the things that I typically tend to lean on. And then for some of you, you might be more fact based. You want to know, hey, you know what, is this really worth what it's supposed to be, or how is this made? You know, how is this product made? You know, is it made with good quality products or ingredients? So with that, let's get into. I'm going to get into the quality portion first. So quality, you got quality versus performance. So let's talk quality. For those of you that are a little bit more on that left brain function and want fact-based, this is Tempur material under a microscope. Hope you guys can see that. On my screen, it's on the left, and then on the right, you'll see memory foam. Can anybody point out just the stark differences there now? What do you see different from Tempur material versus memory foam?
Tempur's more uniform.
More uniform. Yep. Okay. Yep. You can see kind of those bubbles on the left there, or we call them cells. That's, again, this is at a microscopic view. Those are cells and what we call struts. More uniform. What else do you guys see?
Looks like more, possibly more holes or air places where the air flow.
Yeah. What about those bright lines around the bubbles?
Strong, thicker.
A little bit more defined, right? So what that's showing you is those are extra thick cell walls. All right. And on the memory foam side, so you get extra thick cell walls and then you got the individual cells. On the memory foam side of things, it looks a little bit more soupy, or I like to call it like a smoothie. It's a little bit, it's not as defined in having their individual cells. And that's just your typical standard, you know, commodity memory foam that you and I can buy anywhere, right? If we started our own company and wanted to do memory foam, we would just buy commodity foam, and that's what it looks like. And what that has is what you call bursting. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that red arrow where the cell wall has broken because the cell walls are very thin in the way that these are constructed. So perfect example, bed in a box, right? Those are pretty popular right now. Your online mattresses that you can buy at a fairly low cost. What happens is the first 6 to 12 months, that bed's going to feel pretty decent, right? Because it's new. You just replace your old one. Anything new always feels good. Doesn't matter if it's a new shirt or a new pair of shoes. A new mattress will always feel pretty good at the start. But what happens over time is those cells start to burst. And about after, like I said, after 6 months to 12 months, this is what you start getting. And that's why people start complaining about the mattress that they just purchased. Okay. And the way this was explained to us by our engineers, our scientists, and chemists over at our Tempurpedic factory in Albuquerque is, think of when you're making dough, let's say for your pizza, and you're kneading the dough. And I don't know if you guys have all made pizza, homemade pizza at home, but you stick it in the oven and you get those bubbles on the crust. What happens to those bubbles after a minute or two? They burst. Yeah, they burst. So, and how that was explained to us is that those sections where it bubbles up like that and then they burst, is it just wasn't kneaded consistently in that section when you were kneading the dough. And that's the same thing that's happening to these foams, is they just don't have the same construction as what we do in our Tempurpedic factories, which are indoors, first of all. And then secondly, is we get to control the quality in there because it's our plant, okay? Let me move to the next section here. So customers will change their buying habits when you actually explain what quality is. right? It's the same for your furniture. You guys have quality furniture there, right? So I'm going to talk about a little bit about furniture. So what's this picture here?
Or engineered wood. Mhm.
Yep, engineered wood, particle board, right? How is this usually designed?
Poorly.
It's yeah, it's
Strong. Yeah. Yeah, some of them, they have different ranges of quality.
yeah, different ranges because what you're doing here is you're actually getting pieces of wood and then you're using a lot of glue to kind of piece this together so it has one solid board, correct? And then here versus this, what's this picture of?
Solid wood.
Solid wood. So which one of those is going to be more quality? The solid wood, right? You guys know that. I'm sure you guys sell this, right? What's this picture of?
Looks like a leather sofa, maybe.
Leather, maybe. Well, close. Add a P to the beginning of that. A pleather, right? And what's pleather? It's basically fake leather, right? Look, it's made to look like leather, maybe feel a little bit like leather, but quality is not as good as what's this? It's genuine leather, right? There's a difference between pleather and genuine leather, and typically, what's the price difference? I'm not sure if you guys sell pleather in your store, but I know you sell genuine leather. What's the price difference typically?
3 times.
Quite a bit, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the same thing with the solid oak table versus a particle board table. Now, can I eat my cereal on both those tables the same way?
Sure.
I sure can, but there's a difference in those qualities, and that's why people will pay the extra money. And you typically don't have to explain the difference between pleather and genuine leather for that customer to actually pay what genuine leather actually is worth, right? So let me move on. So this is a video. Let me see if I can, hopefully this will play on your end.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Does that video show in there okay?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So that was just a little fun video that our team and our marketing team put together and just kind of show you the motion transfer, obviously with the quality of the type of foam that we use. I actually don't like to use the word foam when it comes to Tempurpedic. And some of you probably have heard me say that is I like to call it Tempur material, just because of the differences between how our product's made versus all other memory foam. Let me move on to quality here. ISO 9001, you guys can Google this. It's actually the abbreviation for International Organization for Standardization. We're the only company that participates in this. It's very expensive to get approved and get certified year by year. It's an annual renewal. It's a standard that is used by the car manufacturers as well as other types of manufacturing, but mostly by the car industry. Right here, you'll see this is a Toyota truck, and that is obviously a map of Texas because there is a plant in Texas that builds Toyota trucks. And then here's another Toyota truck, but that's a map of Japan, which is their larger plant, and obviously where Toyota originated from. The ISO 9001 certification, what this does is makes sure that when they build these trucks, whether it be in Texas or Japan, that there's a consistency. The variance, I believe, in difference on how they're made is below 1%. It's like a 0.01% as far as inconsistencies or versus consistency. So this kind of just shows you a bit of what that certification is. As we all know, we want consistency in driving our cars because we want it to be safe. That's why the car industry is held to the standard. And we at Tempurpedic want to make sure that we are also held to a very high standard, regardless of what it costs to be a part of that certification. And then lastly here is lifespan. As you can see here, there's Tempurpedic on the left, and then you have everybody else on the right. And that includes even my brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, you've got Casper, you've got Serta, you've got Beautyrest in there. Anybody want to take a guess on the lifespan of the Tempurpedic versus all those on the right?
25.
What'd you say, Judy?
25.
Very close. 26 years. Now, you can do the math. How we're able to come up with this is Tempurpedic started here in the US 1992. So it's been 28 years, and when we're picking up products, the lifespan average we're seeing on these beds are about 26 years. Versus on the other side, you're getting anywhere from 7 years. Stearns & Foster's in the teens. We're seeing those in the 14, 15-year lifespan. So, you know, probably averaging about 12 years, you know, between the brands, some less and some a little bit more. So it shows you here that Tempurpedic has the longest lifespan. So when you're talking about quality and durability, these are great tools to talk about with your consumers. Now, I've talked about the oak table versus the IKEA table, right? Perfect cell formula. And then we talked about motion transfer. That's the video you guys saw. Talked about ISO 9001, which each unit, we make sure it's perfect from start to finish, all the way to the consumer's home. And then longest lasting. So that's for those that are, again, left-brained, looking at making sure that they, you know, they want facts-based, and that's why I wanted to show that. So now I'm going to go over the performance-based side. For those of you that are a little bit more emotion-driven when it comes to shopping, or for your consumers. So performance. So Tempurpedic is medical-grade pressure relief. In our industry, how many mattress vendors or brands do you get to hear we are the best? Anybody ever hear that online or when you're looking at mattress ads and on social media? Do you ever hear we're the best?
Almost all of it, yeah.
Almost all of them, right? Because guess what? There's no legal ramifications by saying you're the best. It doesn't matter if you're the best coffee house, the best Chinese food, that name kind of gets tossed around and it gets devalued. Everybody likes to claim they're the best. But in our industry, nobody else can make this claim. Tempurpedic is medical grade pressure relief. Every burn unit in the US, it has Tempurpedics in them because of pressure relieving. And obviously the only way for a burn victim to heal is rest. There's no type of really surgery or medication for your skin to heal. And then there's actually maternity wards that are getting grants. And when they get the special grants, they're actually putting Tempurpedics into those wards. And I'll show you guys some examples here. Who can tell me what this picture is showing?
Circulatory system.
Yep. What's that in the middle? That big red thing?
A heart.
A heart. And what does a heart do? What's it? It's a pump, right? That's exactly it. Very basic. It has one job. It pumps. right? There it is. So a heart is a pump. So whoever said that, 100%, you're exactly right. All right. But here's the thing, the more effortlessly a pump works, the healthier the pump. Okay. Think about this. Whether it's your fish tank, for any of you that have the fish tank at home, yeah, you got to have a pump in there, right? Or if you think about the irrigation system in Tillamook, Oregon, right? That's irrigating big farmlands over there. That pump has to, you want it to work effortlessly, and the effortlessly it works, the healthier it is. The same goes for our heart. So Tempurpedic is the most adaptive sleeping surface, which gives you fewest pressure points, which then guess what? It allows our hearts to actually pump more efficiently. So that's why we can state that Tempur-Pedic is medical grade pressure relief, right? The medical community agrees that Tempur equals medical grade pressure relief. And again, I'll show you some examples here. But here is another video. All right. Again, just another fun video that our marketing team created just to kind of show you the properties of our pressure relieving material there. This is a vacuum, right? Just something that you would use in your house. And then here is a commercial grade vacuum, right? Again, the word I'm trying to point out there is that grade, commercial grade vacuum, just like I talked about the medical grade. And then here's a normal flashlight. You can probably find one of these on Amazon for, less than 10 bucks. And then here is a military grade flashlight. And what's the difference you're going to see there other than price?
Knock somebody out with a military one.
Yeah, true. You can knock somebody out. You can drop this from, from up a tree or up in the mountain or whatever. It's going to last longer. It's probably brighter. It's going to last longer, right? So these typically run about 200 bucks, right? And then here are some trucks. And then GMC actually has these claims that we are professional grade, right? That's what you typically see in their ads. And this GMC Denali actually tends to run actually a little bit higher in price point because of being professional grade and the amenities that they put in this product. And remember, I told you guys about the medical community. My coworker up in Vancouver, his wife just had a baby not too long ago. And he took a picture of this for us because he was actually surprised to see it and learned that, I think this was Providence up in Portland, that they had these Tempur-Pedic medical mattresses in this maternity ward. And he asked how they got it, and come to find out it was they had received a grant, and because they received the grant, they wanted the best materials that were in their ward, and they chose Tempur-Pedics. And again, this is up in Portland. So again, the medical community really believes in this product, right? JD Power and Associates. We won this award in 2017, but we also just won it again this last year in 2019. They've only been ranking mattresses for the last 3 years. Unfortunately, we were edged by Sleep Number last year in 2018. But we've won it 2 out of the last 3 years. Proud to say that. And again, this is all voted by consumers. And we were rated that for support, comfort, and value. Okay. So let me recap performance. Tempurpedic is medical grade pressure relief. Every dedicated burn unit has patients healing on Tempurpedic. More professional athletes, these are golfers, tennis players, football players, actually sleep on a Tempurpedic than any other surface. As a matter of fact, a lot of professional trainers, whether it's the NFL, the NBA, or again, the PGA, or the USGA, whatever it is, typically recommend our products more than any other product out there. Again, because professional athletes have to recover a lot quicker, and they need to, or what they do to perform better. And then local hospitals, which I just showed you guys a picture of, outfitted rooms with Tempurpedic. And then lastly is 2017 and 2019, we've been voted #1 customer satisfaction by JD Power and Associates. Moving on here, this is an adaptometer. Let me show you guys kind of adaptability of each type of foam product that you guys are seeing in the industry. First, you're going to get your bed in a box. It's actually got a very, very low adaptometer. And then next is memory foam. You get a little bit better adaptability, but you're still kind of in the red there. Tempur-Adapt, which is our entry-level Tempur-Pedics, which are on sale right now. Again, it's $19.99 in a queen. And then Tempur-Pro-Adapt. And then lastly is our Lux-Adapt, is going to be the most adaptable material out there. So again, that's where I would start everybody, just for them to get what the the adaptability and what that what I call the APR, which is in this product, is advanced pressure relief. And then lastly, I think I have one last video here for you guys.
It's great to work for a company that you can believe in the product that you're making. We're always innovating, we're always identifying opportunities, and that's who we are as Tempurpedic. It's in our DNA. So every day we're exploring, we're experimenting, we're testing.
We try different grades, we try different combinations so that we can come up with that next generation of products that is going to satisfy the customer.
We have an organization that stretches all the way from product research and new product development all the way back to manufacturing, whereas most companies don't have that capability. They'll have the marketing and the sales, but they won't have that manufacturing part. And I think that's very important. The original formulation and material was developed and designed by NASA to serve as a pressure relieving material for takeoff and touchdown. It was Tempurpedic that took that technology and commercialized it. It's not just the materials we make, but how they all come together to create a product to improve sleep.
We develop and we pour a specific foam for Tempurpedic. There are others out there that they're not Tempurpedic. That allows us to create the grades of foam that supply what our customers need.
Your components are made here in-house, and that's what separates us from everybody.
I like the way things are set up here. There's a good workflow. It starts with pouring the foam and actually working with PSA and cutting the plates, and then going to lamination, going to trim, assembly, putting the covers on, putting it in the box, you know, and shipping it out the back door. So there's a real good workflow here.
We are one of the few mattress manufacturers to hold an ISO 9001 certification. It means we constantly deliver products that meet both customer and regulatory requirements.
All the extensive tests that Tempurpedic does means that we put out the same product every single day.
We take enormous pride in the fact that this is a world-class facility in environmental responsibility. This is the second year we've had zero landfill waste. We throw nothing away. Everything is recycled or converted to energy. We want the best, and we want to do it the right way. It's just representative of how we operate.
You got to be very precise because you're dealing with millimeters and centimeters when you're making this product. You're not dealing with inches. You don't have much room for error.
Everything that goes out that back door is the best that we can do. Everyone here has a major concern for the quality of the mattress from start to finish.
It's been said before, I don't know who said it, but innovation is not a breakthrough that happens in one day, but it's the collection of small ideas all added up over a long period of time that results in a breakthrough. We're challenged to find those little things to improve, to find those little nuggets of gold to chase after and fix. When you add all those up, then you end up with a quality product like we have here at Tempurpedic.
All right. That's pretty much all I've got. And when it comes to that video, I know my time's up. But just as a reminder, here are our bases. I know you guys carry our Ergo and Ergo Extends. The Ergo is actually down to $12.99 for the, I'm sorry, it's actually down to $9.99 for this promotion that's going on right now. It's the lowest we've ever seen it. So please take full advantage of showing that to each customer that walks into your door. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So any questions?
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
In the video, it mentioned the zero landfill waste, which means
Yep.
that it's either recycled or it's converted into energy. What does converted into energy?
So when we're using like the machinery that you guys saw in there, as far as we still have to like burn certain fuels in the factory, so that does get recycled back and used actually into energy to for some of the equipment that we use in the factory. And then as far as the materials, we obviously have cardboard, wood pallets, steel. That all gets recycled, and then when we cut our products, and you saw some of the cutting that we're doing with our foams, so that it gets cut to size, whether it be a queen size or a twin size, that scrap foam that actually goes to the carpet manufacturers, and that's actually used in carpet pads. So believe it or not, like I just had one of my good friends just built a house, and they actually opted for that special foam, and it's actually feels amazing on your feet. So nothing goes to waste. And as a matter of fact, that video is about 4 years old. So actually we've been doing that for about 4 years now. We do take pride in that. It's the largest, as you guys saw the picture of the facility there. It's over 750,000 square feet. I've been to that facility multiple times. It's the largest mattress manufacturing facility in the world. And it actually is that clean as you guys saw it. You can pretty much almost eat off the floor there. But the other thing is also the air that's being used in there, because we don't want any type of particles getting into our foams when we're pouring it. It's actually cleaner than air that you would get in your top elite hospitals. It's pretty amazing, just the care that they do in the facility there. So again, yeah, Albuquerque and also Duffield, Virginia. Those are the only two Tempurpedic factories in the U.S. And we do have one in Denmark that services our European, distribution over there. Yes.
How is the adapt on heat?
As far as the heat goes, so from the adapt, so there's three collections, right? You have your adapt, pro adapt, lux adapt, and then we have our breeze technology. So the adapt, pro adapt, and lux adapts all have a cooling, removable, washable cover. I'm sorry, the adapt does not. Adapt you cannot remove, but it does have a cooling cover, which is made of a specific type of yarn. It's actually a natural fiber that gives it that cooling sensation. And then in the Pro Adapt, so your step up into the Pro Adapt and Lux Adapts is you can actually zip those covers off and wash it. And then you have our Breeze technology, which we didn't really cover in detail today, but the Breeze technology, you have the cooling in the cover, but the cooling is also in all the materials inside of that bed. They have larger cell structures, which gives it more breathability. We have perforated APR material, which basically gives ventilation. And everything in the Breeze basically is making that hot sleeper sleep a lot cooler. It's a great product to start all your consumers on right now, especially like today, just because of the weather. The Breeze technology, the Pro Breeze sleeps up to 3 degrees cooler, and the Lux Breeze sleeps up to 8 degrees cooler. And again, that's tested in our own Tempurpedic facilities, because we are the only company that actually has our own geothermal labs. And how we test that is no different than how insulation's tested in buildings, like for instance, your building, as far as efficiencies, but it's called R value. And that's actually what we're trying to accomplish, is opposite of what buildings typically want to accomplish, right? Buildings, you want to be able to trap air in there so that, the AC you have on right now is not escaping or allowing the hot air from outside to come in. In ours, we're actually trying to accomplish the opposite, where we're actually allowing that air to breathe right through, so that anybody that sleeps hot. Now, the other thing to remember as well is if you have a couple that's looking, let's say, at the Breeze technology, one's a hot sleeper and the other one's not. Let's say the other one's just a neutral sleeper. The neutral sleeper is not going to sleep any colder, because the only way that our cooling technology actually works is when it's activated by heat. So if it senses a body that is basically emitting heat, that's the only way that actually gets activated. Okay, so just keep that in mind, so that when you have two different sleepers and one's afraid that they're just going to sleep colder and they don't want to, it's actually not going to make them sleep colder. It's neutral. It's actually like your thermostat, right? You set it at a certain temperature, it's just going to continue to regulate at that temperature. So hopefully that answers some questions there. Any other questions?
All right, Daryl, thank you very much. I think we're about at the end of our time anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry I went over. All right.
Not a problem. Thank you for the great information.
All right.
We will talk to you later. Have a good day.